The USS New Mexico takes a cruise around the islands and lays down some serious pain. It's Gazbeard's battles in World of Warships.
What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the
Enemy destroyer blown up. Enemy destroyer sunk. Enemy cruiser foundered.
Torpedoes to port.
Hi everyone, and this week's battle in World of Warships is from last autumn's Tier 6 ranked battles, the 7v7, where you can work up your ranks and win some nice prizes. And I'm out in the New Mexico. We're on the Big Race map, which is familiar for everybody because you start to see it from Tier 1 upwards. And it's appropriately named for this battle because it turned into a race around the islands in true Nascar style. Not Formula 1 style, which would have gone round them clockwise, but Nascar style, which goes round them anti-clockwise. So, USS New Mexico, Tier 6 bruiser, 12 big guns on her, lots of armour, and some decent secondaries. So we're all going to go down the southwest channel. A couple of the lighter cruisers have decided to poke through the middle islands because ultimately we need to capture that A point if we can't sink everybody. Not much going on. Spotter aircraft are up, cruisers are ducking and diving, jumping around all over the place trying to figure out where they're going. And a Budgioni pops up as the first one spotted, and a Fuso as the first battleship, and opening exchanges are made. Now, if you've played the New Mexico, you'll know that her overall accuracy is not great. She suffers a bit from both vertical and horizontal gun dispersion, and trying to get a decent number of shells from a salvo on target at any long range is not easy. My first salvo of 12 shots out there got one hit, and that was it. 1 out of 12 at near enough maximum range is not bad. It's terrible. That's one of the problems that I had in the New Mexico from start to finish, even with captain skills and flags and upgrades and modules. This time a little bit better. 2 shells hit, penetrating hits, dealing 3,500 damage and starting a fire. So we're racing along here at the blistering fast pace of 21 knots, and we're just keeping an eye on who's poking in and out of the islands, trying to get shots at them. Now there's a Cleveland, and that's a ship I would very much like to get down early on in this ranked battle. Whoever's driving us being sneaky, turning her around, and I've sent shots out. I get 1, 2 hits, and that's about it. And that was only for about 2,400 damage or so, maybe a little bit more. Very disappointing, but I would really like to get the Cleveland down early because her high explosive spam shelling is a big threat to these American battleships. Cleveland can start fires very, very easily, and there she is trying to duck back around, going miles away. Fortunately at the moment she's got a better target than me, because the cruisers are in the middle ground. Looks like I've knocked her steering out. Got 3 penetrating hits, including we've knocked out something critical. What else have we got going on? Is that an Alba? And as you can see, we've got a battleship behind me. We've got 2 cruisers on the other side of this island, closer to the enemy than me, and a couple way up ahead who've just zoomed off and aren't. They're not being particularly tactical. They should be sailing in close company. We should be sailing as a fleet, concentrating fire. If all 7 of us were to shoot at one ship with each time that we're reloaded, then we could knock them down like 10 pins in a bowling alley. So not a lot happening other than these long range pot shots at the moment, because we're on opposite corners of the map, and as I said, we're Nascaring. Both fleets are going around anti-clockwise. Is it going to get exciting? Well, we're not really going to know. We've got a Bayern on our team that's just coming out between the islands in front of me, and it would be good if we could get him to stay with me, and the 2 of us, as the heaviest ships on our team, sail around in company, laying down pain wherever we can. Now that was a bit better. That was 5 or 6 shots on target, and that's against the enemy New Mexico. I'd like to get another salvo into him before he goes around the island. He's burning away merrily. Somebody else has just laid some pain in. There we are. Guns up, shots away, and you'll notice I'm loaded with HE, because at this range, the plunging fire, I should be able to get some nice fires burning on him, wither him down. And yeah, we got 1 penetrating hit and 3 non-penetrating hits on him, and another fire. And that's good, because he probably not long since used his repair party to put out the previous fire, and that means he's going to burn for 30 to 40 seconds, and the next time we see him he should be somewhere down near a quarter health or less, even if nobody else has shot at him. Now you can see the danger point on the mini-map here. The faster ships in the enemy fleet are catching up with our tail end Charlies, and the cruisers that have held back are actually doing a good screening job, because they're letting our Bayern and myself in the New Mexico get away, get around these islands, and get after the enemy battleships. Now there's that pesky Cleveland again. He's down to 1/3 health. Let's see if we can do anything about him. He's turning. Is he going to come straight at us or keep turning? No, he's turned back to his original course. While his rudder's committed, I'll get shells out. And it's not a huge range, it's about 2/3 my maximum range. There are some nice solid hits into him. Defended, which gave me a defense of the cap circle flag. And everybody's now laying into him. I don't think he's sunk there. I think he's still afloat. The cap timer is still counting. And there's the enemy Fuso, who so far is hardly scratched. There's that Alba. The Alba would be a better shot, but I'd already lined up for the Fuso and loaded the armor piercing. The Fuso has seen me. He's throwing shells back at me. Barely scratched me, which was fortunate. And that Cleveland is still alive, but he's turning tail, he's running, he knows he's got 2 battleships coming around supported by cruisers. He's trying to get out of there, and he's misjudged his turn by the look of it. He's going aground. now is the time for me to punish him. 12 of these big old shells going out, and yeah, there he goes down. I didn't get the kill, somebody else did. My shells were just making sure of the job. Now there's the enemy Bayern. At least I think that's the Bayern, is it? Looks like the Bayern. And we need to get him weakened down pretty hard. About 3 seconds before I can shoot. Not sure if he's shooting at me or our Bayern. There's my shots out. And he looks like he's standing still. And 3 penetrations and a couple of bounces. Yeah, not great. But even so, you know, the gunnery on the New Mexico, the guns are not that accurate. But on a 7v7 at this stage of the game, having just shy of 50,000 damage in the bag is, you know, it's not a bad result so far. Both sides are 1 cruiser down. Apart from that, things are fairly even. There's the New Mexico, he's on half health. Unfortunately, he's just disappeared again. These enemy cruisers that are racing around behind us are, well, they're a bit of a concern. If they catch us up, they could cause havoc. But at the moment, we're keeping ahead of them. It's letting us engage the battleships the way they're supposed to be engaged with our battleships. None of this nonsense about the cruisers having to pop a smoke and sit in it and HE spam them or rush in and drop torpedoes. This is a proper battleship on battleship battle, this. And there's my opposite number, New Mexico. Very, very good matchmaking in this game. They're almost exactly paired ship for ship. Where did that New Mexico go? Come on. Oh, one of the cruisers is pot-shotting me, and our Bayern slowed down just too much. I'm caught up with him and giving him a little love kiss in the side. Now, that's interesting. The enemy Fuso is starting to push down that western channel, and sometime soon he's going to show himself. So I'm just going to hold my fire. There he is. Fuso moves at a reasonable pace, a good lead, even though it's only about well, actually he's just about on maximum range. Look at that! 2 citadels. He's probably thinking to himself right now, words that I cannot repeat on a video that's going to be seen by young children. That was lovely. Now, if I can just catch him coming out the left-hand side of that small island, I may even be able to finish him off. So what I want to do now is I want to get round this one, push hard round so that I can try to catch that Fuso in the flank. He's coming through. It looks like I missed him with that last salvo. Where are they? Oh, well, there's the New Mexico. Maybe I should get a shot at him while he's in the open. Give him a punishing. He's broadside onto me. He's at a quarter health. And oh God, look at that. Bounces, over penetrations, and shatters. No, don't think I did more than about 3,000, 4,000 damage to him. There's their Bayern, who's still in good health. And he's going to be behind the island before I can get shots away at him. Oh, just managed to get them before he went behind the island. looks like some reasonable damage pushing into him there. About as good as I could expect at almost maximum range. And there's that Fuso again. Now, he looks like he's repairing, because his health has definitely increased, and I need to stop him from doing that. Which way is he going to turn? Is he going to turn back north? Let's take a chance on it. Shells out. Use the 26, 27 second reload as I go around this island. Bayern up ahead of me, you can see there, pushing on. And there's the enemy Bayern. Somebody's detected me. Probably that cruiser in front of the enemy. Is he going to stay on a steady course? A few scrapings of damage there. Not a lot. He's popping some HE at me. He's turning. Is he going to go broadside on? He might be tempted to, thinking I'm unloaded. And I've only got about 5 seconds to go to be loaded, and an island gets in the way. Terrific. So we've destroyed one of their battleships, and both sides have lost 2 cruisers. So technically we're winning this. We're also ahead on points, as you can see at the top of the screen. I'm desperate to get round this island and get my guns into play again, because we're now getting to a fairly critical part of the battle as we start whittling them down. And there's one of those lovely broadside shots at the cruiser. Somebody beat me to the shot. I only fired 2 turrets. I've still got 2 turrets left to throw at that Bayern. And he's dead in the water because he was trying to reverse out to take his shots and then go forward. So yep, some nice smacks on him. And is he going to stand still? It looks like he is. No, he's starting to edge forward now. So he's going to be back behind the island in a second. I need another target, especially with this island coming up on me. And my repair party is almost off cooldown. I'll be able to make use of that again shortly. We've got 5 ships, they've got 3. We should be spotting a lot more of them than this. So where's the rest? Aha! There's the Fuso, look. Right, we now know where all 3 of their ships are, which is a good position to be in. I'd like to get rid of that Auber, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think I've got more chance of hitting the Bayern, who seems to have guessed what was happening and appears to have stopped again. There he is. Oh, he's beached himself. Oh. Shells out. Shells out. Got fingers crossed for some citadels. Nah, but managed to get about 8,000 damage into him. Leave him for the cruisers. Meanwhile, this Fuso's appeared, and I'm busy reloading. I'm starting to swing across so that I can get all 4 turrets at him. I've got to be very careful of our Bayern that's coming up on my starboard side. Reloaded, all 4 out. And it was good. It's knocked one of his forward turrets out, but he was a little bit too angled, and I gave him a little bit too much lead, which meant that I didn't hit him with everything that I could have. But his guns are focusing on our other battleship, cutting across the centre of the cap circle, So, as I swing round to try and get a better angle, I managed to punish him a fair bit, made him turn back towards me, presenting his broadside to our other battleship, who couldn't maximise it, and finally he's gone. And at that point we capped and we won the battle. So there we go, nearly 120,000 damage in a 7v7. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel please. See you again soon.
What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we